Please, what is it? So there are usually two types of sliders in zippers. This one is the single slider one, and this is the double slider. So for the double slider, two, you have like two zipper pulls together. So one of the things that usually gets spoiled very quickly on the zipper is usually the slider, because it's the one that does the most work. It's always going up and down every day when we use it. So in order to avoid the slider getting spoiled on time, what we need to do is that we need to be very careful when we are fitting it. Like, see, when we wear our jacket, we need to like carefully make sure that we put it in, and then once we hear the click sound, it's a very little click, but it makes a click sound. Once we hear the click sound, then we know that it is smooth enough to go off. So if for any reason we are trying to do it and we are finding it difficult to pull it off, that means the slider has not yet clicked. Like the opposite side of the open sided zipper has not yet clicked in. So until it clicks in, it's going to be very difficult for it to move up. But once it clicks in nicely, once you hear that click, the zipper slider should move smoothly and without any problems. It should be very smooth without any problem. So no matter how much in a hurry that you are, kindly ensure that you carefully click in the open end of the zipper into the other end, so that then we can zip it up smooth. The double slider, we need to ensure that both sliders are together at the base. So this first slider and the second slider, they need to key into one another. Like they need to really sit nicely, and then we can click in the other. Once it clicks in, both zipper pulls should move freely, because a lot of people, they believe that, especially this double-sided one, they find it difficult to pull it down, because they will be like, it's difficult to do it, I can't do it. But once you make sure that both sliders go down nicely, and then the other end too clicks in, then the zipper pull should pull very easily. Very easily. We can easily pull the slider and there will be no issues. So that is that about how to prevent our slider from getting spoiled on time. But because of continuous use, definitely there will be wear and tear on the slider, because of because we always pull it every day. There will definitely be wear and tear. For example, this is a zipper we have removed from a customer's outfit. You can easily see that this has opened up, like it's really loose. So no matter how careful we are, at some point it will come loose. But it's just that we can make sure that time, like we can increase the shelf life by being careful. Because see, those people that just like push the slider in and push the open end of the zipper in carelessly would make the slider loose quicker than if we are doing it more carefully. But whether we do it careful or not, at some point we will lose our slider, especially if it's like inferior sliders. We'll definitely lose it. So one thing we can do is, if we are very fast enough, we can save this slider. So what we can do is, this one, the way it's opened, the way it's opened, we can pick like a flat nose plier like that, a flat nose plier, and just like try to close this up back carefully. We need to be careful about it so that it doesn't get spoiled. We need to do it carefully. So if we are able to carefully just close it back, we can then put back our slider in, and then it works. Like you see now, this works because I've carefully just press down the slider, and then it works. But sometimes it is beyond repair. Like for example, this one I've taken out for 2 reasons. The garment it has been used for, this zip is actually not suitable for it. So sometimes once we have like a heavy duty jacket, for example, we need like a kind of slider that works. So this is the same problem with this as well. This is another customer's outfit. So if you look at it, you see that this has already hooked up. Like if you are somebody that uses jacket a lot, this would have happened to you sometime. So what we need to do in this regard is so I would carefully try to remove this slider from here by like pushing it off. One thing I want to avoid doing is I don't want to like, I want to see if this slider can still be saved. But because of when I'm zipping it up, I see that instead of zipping up, it's still open. So obviously I know that this slider is already gone. So what I'll do in this instance is I'm going to pick up. So now I've been able to remove it, but I can already see that this slider is already gone. Like it's no longer good. So what I'll do now is I'll check for the number of the slider. This is a number 8 slider. Every zip has a number. This, for example, most except is like a cheap zip. This one is a cheap zip, so there is just written C on it. But most zippers usually have numbers, even the invisible one. This is a number 2. This, for example, sorry, I've got some couple of zippers here. This, for example, is a number 5. So they have their number. So I'll check the slider I want to try to replace. It's a number 8. So I'll take this slider out. Yes, so another mistake that people make a lot is that people sometimes, when they want to take this slider out or they want to put it back in, they take like scissors. I'll demonstrate it with this scrap fabric. So they take like scissors and then they snip it open like that. So if we do this, we have damaged the zipper belt. This is not the correct way to do it. So it's wrong for us to snip it open. So once we snip it open like that, it's damaging to the zipper. So I highly discourage this. Please don't do this. I do not recommend. Don't snip open your zipper because maybe you want to put the slider in or you want to put it out. So what I'll do instead is I'll move the slider all the way up. I'll move the slider all the way up to where the stopper is. So then I'll pick a flat nose plier or maybe a flat nose cutter and then try to take the stopper out. The reason why I'm taking the stopper out is that I can easily put a new stopper in. But once I've already snipped this open like I've done here, I've already destroyed the zipper belt. And that is why a lot of people, when they bring in their outfits and we see that the zipper belt has been cut. There's no how, we need to replace the zipper, and that would cost them a lot more money than we could have just like replaced the slider. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this stopper carefully. It's a very um it's a very strong zipper because it's gold teeth, so I just need to be very careful while removing the stopper. So I'll just do it carefully with these pliers. Like, it's a flat nose plier. Sorry, flat nose cutter, I mean to say, not plier. So it's a flat nose cutter. So I'll pick this flat nose cutter and remove the stopper. The one that is just, that's the one I'm removing. I'm not removing any of the teeth. I'm not removing the stopper beneath, because if I do any of that, I've damaged the jacket. So what I'm going to remove is just carefully with this plier. This is what I'm using. It's a cutter kind of plier, not a normal plier. So because this is a good zip, it's a YKK zip, it's quite difficult to remove. If it's the cheaper way, and then I'll slide this out. Since the stopper is out, it should just slide out easily. It should slide out without any stress. So I'm just going to slide this out, and that's it. So what I'm going to do, this is usually sold online, but as a professional, I don't do that. So what I do is I pick a new zipper, which is a YKK zipper. That is arguably the best zipper in the market that is readily available. So I'll pick a YKK one from a new zipper, and then I'll carefully remove this. This is a new one. I'll be using it to replace the old one. So I'll do the same thing that I've done. So I'll keep this. I'm going to use it for another project in future. So I'll keep that. And then I'll do the same thing that I've done here. I'll remove this stopper so that I can get this out. So that is me trying to remove the stopper so that I can replace this. You can actually buy this online if you prefer, but I prefer to actually use like an original one for my customer. I prefer to do this. So that's it out. So now I've been able to remove this. So this is the new one. This is the old one that I have removed, one that is worn out. This is the brand new one that I'm replacing it with. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carefully slide this down into the zipper teeth. So it's one mistake that people also make is that when they're trying to slide this in, some people try to like open up the new zipper. They try to use like maybe a flat nose, they use a flat nose stuff to like open it up. That's wrong, because when we do that, we reduce the shelf life of this. So I'm not going to open it up. All I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it down through here. I'll just make sure that if it's difficult, I could use like my flat nose plier to press down the fabric so that the fabric would let me easily slide it in. I'm not cutting anything, I'm not destroying the belt. I'm just trying to press this down so that I can easily slide this in. So I'm going to carefully slide this in. It will not be very easy because it's a new one, but I'll just do it very carefully. I'm sure it will be in a couple of seconds. Yeah, so and that's me in now. So I'll push it down all the way to here. So since this is a size 8 and the one that has been removed is a size 8, I suppose that easily I should be able to put my zipper back in easily. So I'll press this down like I said in the beginning. I'll push this down as well, then that should zip nicely. So as you can see, this now works because I've removed the bad one and I've replaced it with a good one. So this works now. So if you have a zipper like that, instead of throwing the jacket away, you might want to consider just replacing it. This is a new slider, and now anybody that sees this would not even know that we've done anything to it. So this works. So the last but not the least thing for me to do now is to put back my stopper so that this doesn't fall out. Remember, we pushed this down through here while we had removed this stopper. So this stopper now, I need to put it back in. I need to put this stopper back in so that this doesn't fall back out. So what I'm going to do is I've removed these ones from the other zip. This is from the new zip, so I could replace it with this one from the new zip. I do not recommend using the one from the old zip, but this is a good option because it's actually new. Then also I have my stash here of like stoppers as well, so I could just pick one of them. So this is what the stopper looks like. So if you check your jacket, it's always at the beginning. For the metal one, this is the way it looks. So this is the way it looks for the metal one. That's what it looks like. But so I'm going to be making use of the one from the old one and from the new zipper that I've used to repair this. So the new zipper, remember, I picked it from there. So I'm just going to place it back in and carefully press it down. I'll carefully press it down with my flat nose plier. This is a flat nose plier, not the cutter that I had used to remove it earlier. So this time around I'm using my flat nose plier. So I'll put the stopper back in and exert pressure on it. Like, I need to make sure that I put pressure on it so that it fixes nicely into that space. So once I exert enough pressure and I place it into it, then it won't it will stop the slider from going out of the track. So now that is this jacket done. So this customer will be able to use their jacket again. So if you do this at home and you are able to get it done, you can record a video and tag me and I'll put it on the page so that others to be encouraged to do their jacket. So now this jacket has been saved and it's not going to go to the dump. It's already saved. This has saved this person a ton of money, because if they had cut it open or destroyed anything before doing this, it would have cost them having to like change the whole zipper, which depending on where you live, it will cost you maybe 30 to 40 pounds depending on where you live. So instead of so this is one of the things that usually gets spoiled on zipper a lot, the slider. Most times every other thing lasts longer. Another thing that gets spoiled is usually the end of the open end, and like I said in the beginning, struggling to like put it in. So we don't need to struggle. All you need to do is just make sure that the slider sits nicely at the end and carefully pin it into it until you hear the click. It's the click that is the most important. If you don't hear the click, don't try to pull the slider. But once you hear the click, like it's clicked, then you can pull the slider and the slider will slide nicely up. So that's that about trying to change a zip slider or a pull. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comments. If I'm not answering it now, I would answer it later on. So if you have any question or if there's anything you want me to demonstrate, you can put it in the comments. So if there's anything you want me to demonstrate, you can put it in the comments. So thank you so much for joining. I can see that Adin 2025 has joined, Rob has joined. Thank you so much for joining the live. Thank you so much. So kindly like the live so that other people can also join and benefit from it. So today we are talking about zips and zipper pulls, and we have talked about some things we shouldn't do to our zips so that we don't destroy them. So if there's any question you have, drop it in the comments and I will be happy to answer the question anytime. Thank you so much for joining. So if, for example, you want to replace a jacket zip, another thing to take note of is that before we make a purchase of the zip, we need to check what size it is. For example, I'm replacing this one for a customer, so I've made sure that I pick when the zip I'm replacing, I have to make sure that it's the same size as the one I'm replacing it with. So when you're about to make a purchase, you could see online it says it indicates the number of inches or centimeters depending on what site you are shopping from. So what you will do is you pick your tape measure. So you pick your tape measure, and depending on what site you are shopping from, you start the measurement from the base, from the last end, which is the base, to the beginning of the stopper. Not this part will not be measured. If you measure this part, then it will be too long for the jacket. But you need to start from this base, which is the end, and measure all the way to the beginning, which is where the stopper is at. So for this one, it is about 28.5 inches and about 72 centimeters. So when I bought this, I checked the number of inches, then I could be able to order. So I'm going to demonstrate how to replace this one as well. Thank you so much for joining the live. So this one is the one I've removed this jacket, this zipper from. This zipper is not suitable for this jacket because the zipper is lightweight compared to the jacket. The winter jacket is a winter jacket. This zipper is not suitable for it. So that is why. So that is part of the reason why it got worn out very quickly. So I'm removing this one and I'm replacing it with this one, which is heavy duty and is more suitable for this kind of jacket. So what I've done is I've measured the one I removed, and then so I'll be replacing it with this one. So I'll be dropping a video of how I replaced it. So if you go on my page later on, you would
achieve my flash go. It starts now. Thank you. It's rose. 7 roses, please. Flash go 7 roses. Hey, hello. How are
Hello.
you? Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Oh, from hearing you, I know you're from Nigeria, right?
Yes, please. Yeah, please give me a moment.
No problem.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. You're from Nigeria, right?